This week on Fly Rod Chronicles, the crew and I are heading out to Northern California to float the Lower Sacramento River to chase some rainbows and steelhead.
Double and north! Woo!
We get to hang out with our good friends at the Fly Shop. And then we get to go visit our good buddies down at Westervelt Ecological Services. Stick around. This is going to be an incredible show.
Traveling the world, fishing, enjoying the great outdoors. Those are things that would have seemed impossible to me when I was a kid growing up in the mountains of West Virginia. I'm a lucky man, and I never want to forget it, and I'm hoping that sharing my experiences with folks will inspire them to do the same. I'm Curtis Fleming, and these are my Fly Rod Chronicles.
We're out here in Redding, California, and we've been planning for this trip for 2 years. We're on fishing the Lower Sac, going after some rainbows. We're going after some steelhead, maybe. As you can see, it's windy. We've been preaching to bring 6 weights, 6 weight rods, which I did, but as windy as it is, I did sneak a 7 weight onto the airplane. I may need that little oomph to get through the wind today here, but we'll show you our rig up. We'll show you what we're going to do. You know, being out in California, things is a little faster out there. So this show is going to be like a music video. So hang on. Oh yeah. Now we're going for a ride, right? All right. I seen Brad Pitt do this, but he wasn't in a boat, was he? So just keep the tension on him, keep him out of the rocks, lock myself in. Yes. Loving it, aren't they? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's spunky. Let me get him out of that a little bit. Now you know this is only a 30-minute show, right? Right. All right. So with that said, maybe we should take a commercial break and come back after this for more Fly Rod Chronicles if we land this baby. Oh, look at him. I mean, he's got some spunk, doesn't he?
Can't get enough of Fly Rod Chronicles? Check us out online.
Welcome back to Fly Rod Chronicles. We're still going downriver. Steve's trying to get us into a slow part where we can wear this guy down. This is so smart. This is not your first rodeo, is it? No. Look at him. He wants to go out in that fast water, and I need to bring him over here, don't I? Was it the last fly? Attaboy, attaboy. Give it to me, man. Nice. Woo! Wow. You know, I mean, he's not a big fish, but he's thick, isn't he?
He's thick and they fight hard in this cold water. They're just a healthy fish.
Right. Crazy thing that was, we caught that thing about 3 football fields that way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
and you told me, you said, if you hook him, hang on, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to stop right there to net him.
That's
you get
right.
spinning around, and it'll be a rodeo.
And then you got to look for debris. And yeah, that was awesome. And thank you for the guidance on that, man.
Oh, you did awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you, Steve. So, you know, our viewers, a lot of times, they want to see our setup. Okay. And can you just take us through, you know, what size tippet you're using and what you're breaking down here? And we're indicator fishing. Yep, nymph fishing.
And we're using 4-pound test and caddis patterns and mayfly patterns, and we're catching most of our fish on this mayfly right here. And it's called Atlantis X-May is what they're called. And we're using a green one, and then we're using a brown size 18 Hogan's S&M.
I got you.
Barbless hooks. They're a fun fight on these small flies.
The one we were catching on it again, what size is that?
Size 18.
Size 18, and I'm assuming you know a place where people could find those, don't you?
I think so. I think so.
There you go. Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. So it's literally, and then you put some weight. You put some shot.
I put 1 split shot depending on where we're fishing on the river.
Right.
I change it up. I can go lighter or smaller, but right now I'm using a AAA, which is 0.8 grams. And it's seeming to do the trick today.
Nice.
Nice.
As you can tell, Steve knows what he's doing on the water, and we really hit it off. I'll tell you what, we put a lot of fish in the boat.
Neat. These guys do a steelhead tag that's not very expensive, but I'm guessing it goes to a...
It goes to the state, and they tally up the fish.
That's awesome.
It helps them keep count of fish. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a requirement to return that tag.
Yeah.
We got to hang out with our good buddy, Greg DeYoung from Westervelt Ecological Services. You know, this is the first time that Greg and I got to meet person to person. And everybody knows I like busting people's chops. And I started off, just right off the bat, doing what I do best, and that's making up fish stories. And, you know, Greg is very witty. It didn't take him long to pick up on the Curtis Fleming humor.
They consider any rainbow, any trout over 16 inches to be a steelhead.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just for ease, you know, that's how they do it. And then you have to put in the hours fish. So this is all after.
I got you. Well, I like, just because, I'm gonna go ahead and fill it out ahead. I'm gonna put 9 steelhead.
You can.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be right.
Right. Yeah. I should do it in pencil. Stick around for more Fly Rod Chronicles.
It's Westervelt Ecological Services, time for conservation.
So one of the neat things about this area here is a year ago today, where we're standing right now would be nothing but Himalayan blackberries and other invasive species, maybe garbage from homeless camps. And about a year ago, the property owner, along with a bunch of the local agencies, went through and did a huge restoration project. Came through and carved out all these old historic side channels and just really opened them up. And you can see now there's flow moving through here. We just saw salmon right here, and that's exactly what this is designed for, is to create new habitat for adult salmon and juvenile salmon and try to bring some of these fish back. And it's just really remarkable habitat now that used to be just total waste of nothing.
So and they can get refuge from the main stem of the river.
Yeah.
And come over here and do their thing. This probably all sounds familiar to you, doesn't it?
It does, and it's probably great for growing bugs and that the salmon want, and like you say, fatten them up a bit.
How long does a project like this take, and how much money does it take to do something like this? I mean,
you know, just the permitting process, going through the Army Corps of Engineers and all the different federal agencies that are involved, from the Bureau of Reclamation, Department of Water Resources, Western Shasta Resource Conservation District, all the other acronyms, California Fish and Wildlife, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, they're all involved. Right. And so the permitting process probably takes the most time, a couple of years, 2 to 3 years sometimes, just to get the permits through.
This is your language again.
Yeah, I totally feel you.
Once they get in, boots wet, you know, I think it only took 4 to 6 weeks to get the actual project done. Sure. Yeah. It's just getting all the red tape out of the way that takes the time.
This is awesome. And I mean, what made it is to come down here and see that salmon doing what this was designed to do.
Yeah,
you know?
perfect.
Yeah.
It was outstanding.
You know, as we were floating down the Lower Sac, we noticed that Russ snuck off with Greg, and he took him to one of these little sweet spots. And all once, I looked over my right shoulder, and Greg, he's locked in to a monster.
I'm glad I did that last cast.
Woo, second slide.
This is a nice one. Good spot.
Nice, woo! Yeah, buddy. Look at this guy. Wow, that's a nice one. Big old steely. Right. Look at that. Wee doggy. Oh, look at that. Big old leopard spots on him. Look how big his spots are. Wow.
It's time for Trout Unlimited's Release of the Week.
Hey, man, let me go ahead.
Jump in here.
Hey,
Jump in here.
no, get in here. Hey, woo! Let me go ahead and baptize you, man, because that is
big sack, Bo.
That's
look at the spots on that
beast.
baby.
That is beautiful.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Look at the white tip right here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's a perfect one.
Daggone. Man, he could play linebacker for the Rams. That's a beast.
You know, we had the privilege to meet a legend fly tyer, Mike Mercer. And this is really cool. Check his fly out that he's tying up for us.
I'm Mike Mercer, and we're going to be tying a fly today called a missing link. It's a little dry fly I came up with. Actually, it's a home pattern. Came up with it for the Lower Sacramento right here in town, which has been kind of cool. A lot of my patterns surprisingly came out of the Rocky Mountains because I spent a lot of time back there. But this fly I came up with basically to try to solve one single problem on the Lower Sacramento here, and that was a little insect called a caddis. And when the caddis come off in the late summer here, in the evenings they come and lay eggs, and then they die. And so what we were finding was a lot of our patterns that we use for caddis weren't particularly good for died or dead caddis. And so I came up with this little kind of a cadaver caddis pattern. The story really hasn't been so much that it's been successful for that specific situation because it's turned out it's been very, very good also for a lot of mayfly and other insects too. And so it actually is the dry fly, the floating fly that I use for almost 100% of my dry fly fishing anymore. It's really become the go-to fly. And so different sizes and colors, but it's kind of amazing because I'm a fly junkie. I like to use a lot of different flies, and as a tyer, I always figure there's a magic fly. And there probably really isn't, but this is as close as I've ever found. And I take it on the stream, whether there's fish rising or use it for a searching pattern, equally effective both ways. So if you had one dry fly, this is the one. Again, it's called a missing link. And that's basically it. That is the missing link dry fly. It's got an upwing, it's got downwings, it's got a very thin, little shiny body that will sit down in the water. This fly will sit in the water like this, with this wing kind of sitting up. And it's just a great all-around fly. Works beautifully from mayflies and caddis, small stones, even ants and small terrestrials.
Gotta get there one way or another. I'm a fishing bug.
You know, it was our last day on the Lower Sac, and we waited to that evening to go out, and the sun was going down, and you wouldn't believe what happened. We locked in to a double.
Nice, nice. He's on.
You know, we heard this big commotion, and I looked over, and I mean, Greg's rod is doubled over. Russ, he looked like he'd had about 5 Red Bulls. He was all jacked up. So I knew I needed to get a fish on. We wanted to get a double. So I'm fishing as hard as I can. I mean, it's the bottom of the ninth, and 2 outs and a full count. And the Lord blessed me with a great fish.
Nice. 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 Right. Double haul, double tap.
Oh, man, you gotta get him up. Hold on 1 second, you guys. It's an elevation change. If this fish wants to run down there, we're going down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there he is, boy. Woo! Oh, yeah. Sit down and have a seat and look at that, dude.
Here he comes. He's right under the boat now.
Hold the bank on that one. Hold that net, man. Got it. That's what we're after right now. Oh, boy.
Double, baby. Double in north. Woo! Whoa, California! Double tie. Holy shit! What? Yeah, wait, hey, hold this real quick. That's a gorgeous. Hold my rod real quick. Let me see this. Here. Yeah! Yeah, look at this. Yeah! It is about that next generation, getting them out here. And I mean, you guys got everyone from old guys like us to people that's never touched a fly rod. They can come in your fly shop in a 3-piece suit or in a skirt, and you guys can outfit them, put them out here on the boat, and put them on fish like this.
Yes, sir.
How cool is that?
It really is a great thing. It's a great experience. We'd love to share it.
Yeah. Here it's getting dark. The sun's already dropped. Out here in California. No.
That's the hardest part. You don't want to leave.
Now in West Virginia, we're not allowed to night fish. We allowed to night fish in California?
Hour after sunset.
What is it?
Hour after sunset.
Let's get on the water.
I was gonna say, yeah. But just one thing, and hats off to you two guys, because what you guys did today, you took us out in the morning and you said, listen, this evening's gonna be magic. and you said, let's take a break in the middle of the day. You guys rest up, and then let's come out and do this. I mean, honestly, you guys should be home with your family. You should be going home, and you chose to come and hang out with us. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you.
Thanks for being with us. You guys are awesome.
Oh, man, we
Really,
appreciate you.
Thanks so much for all your help.
Yeah,
It's been a great couple of days.
Greg, I truly appreciate the partnership, buddy.
I sure do too.
Yeah, man.
It's a good synergy. To use a California word.
Exactly. Yeah.
So good.
So I say this over and over. Next week, we're supposed to do a better show than what we did just now.
You better stay here.
You got a good challenge coming your way, man.
Viewers, I'm sorry. This may be the best. Come back next week for more Fly Rod Chronicles, man.
Nice. Nice work, guys. Right on.
That's so cool, man. Wow.
Gas, then I stick out my thumb. I've gotta get there